Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to What It Takes to Start a Business. Are you ready to turn your passion into reality? For this afternoon, our panel of experts are here to take you through this process in launching a successful business. Well, I will take you through what we are going to do this afternoon. We are here this afternoon to take you through a short program which talks about what it takes to start a business. All of us here have passion to start a business. But what it takes actually to start a business can be challenging. So you have to have that mindset, that entrepreneurship mindset, to know that starting a venture of a business takes a lot of things. But my co-members here will take you through this journey this afternoon. She is Memuna Tuba. She's going to tell you what it takes exactly to start a business. And knowing what it takes to start a business, the next thing that pops up in your mind is, am I ready to start up this journey? And that one will be taken by Hakim Tola Sam Jolly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the journey. Now over to Madam Memuna Tuba.
I am Memuna Tuba. I'm a final year student, semester 7, international business, and I'm also a business owner. I'm the owner of Choco Collection. It's a clothing line. We have a mother's clothing line. I also do custom tailoring services for people in Sierra Leone. So I do actually run a business in Sierra Leone. And I'm also one of the winners of the 2022 pitch night held at Limkokwing, sponsored by World Bank and others. So today we're going to talk about what it takes to start a business. Now, I want to say I would give you the textbook version, which is what, if you search online, what you would see too. But I'm going to break it down and talk about it relating more to my experience as a business owner in Sierra Leone, and also talking about the Sierra Leone entrepreneurship ecosystem as a whole. So when we think about, starting a business, an entrepreneur, I think the first thing that there is this major misconception that many people have, and that's the first thing that if I get an opportunity to talk to anyone, I tell them to work on, the idea that when you start a business, when you're an entrepreneur, you're suddenly a boss. Well, yeah, in theory, you are a boss because you're not working for somebody. But then if you don't want to be just a sole trader, you don't want to be just like a petty trader, you want to be that entrepreneur that you would consider, you wish to be like a millionaire, you're not really a boss because you have people that you answer to. So if you want to go to that level, maybe you might need investors, you need investments, you have stakeholders, you have board of directors, you're going to answer to those people. So we, as an entrepreneur, the first thing you need to work on before we even go to that is the mindset that when I start this business, I'm gonna chill. Because believe it or not, you might be working 7 to 5 or 9 to 5 as a working person, as an employee, but when you become an entrepreneur, you might be working maybe from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. You might be working 12, 16 hours, so that's not really the life of a boss. But eventually, you will get to being that boss, just that the mindset in the beginning I don't think it should be that. So to start, when you think of a business, when you think of starting a business, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Anyone? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Strategy. Capital. Anybody? What comes to your mind? And many people would think like the capital, of course you need the money, business plan, but actually the first thing that should come to your mind is your idea. You have money, you don't have what you want to do with the money, it doesn't even make sense. So the first thing that you should think about is generating an idea. And that idea sometimes goes with your market research. So some people are not gifted to just wake up and have like this amazing idea. Some people do, but some people are not born with that. So that's why we come to school. So in most cases, you have to actually do a market research, scan your environment and see what's missing, and then you think of implementing that, and then think of profitable solutions to that problem, like what's missing. That's what they call like the customer's pain point. So what your target market does not have is what you should think about at a time. And also, being an entrepreneur is not just like starting any business. When some people think about entrepreneurship, I've seen in Sierra Leone here, people start selling ginger beer or honey. They buy the honey in a big barrel and then they put it in little containers and then put packaging in it. And then they call themselves entrepreneurs. Granted, you can't call yourself that, but honestly, what did you do? That's different. You literally just packaged it and a million other people are doing it. So you did not innovate. You did not add anything to the honey. You did not even add preservative if needed. You just literally bought something and sold it. So if you ask me, I'll just say you are self-employed. You're just somebody that sells. Honestly, you don't necessarily you're not solving much of a problem because honey is available, right? But let's say having access to pure honey that's not mixed, right? You don't have it. So that's one thing that you could work on. So if you bring in pure honey, you package it and make it beautiful and accessible to people who would only get ones that will mix with sugar, then you are solving a problem for people who have maybe diseases or just want to eat very healthy and not having to be in a position where you're eating something that's supposed to treat you, but it's actually causing more harm to you, right? Okay. And then the next step after generating your idea is assessing your capabilities, in my opinion. Now, for my textbook, it says business plan, but I always say, not all things I do. So because somebody say, oh, this sells right now, doesn't mean honestly it's going to work for you. And you should look at what you can do. And being an entrepreneur means you need to have management skills. Whether you just start a business and you bring people to work for you, you're not actually doing the actual work. You're managing those people that you bring to work for you. And in most cases, like in my case, I get to manage my employees and I get to deal with customers every single day. So you need to have skills on how to work with those people, not just managing people, but managing stress too. Because like I said, you went from working 9 to 5, and now you're working 20 hours, 18 hours. So you need to know what you can do. And also, it's also related to your resilience, like how much you can take, and that's what you're going to go into, right? Okay. And then the business plan. I would say, so Mina Fula, I would say just like this guy was saying, you need capital. Sometimes some people will argue that you don't really need a business plan, right? I can't say I started my business even now, I'm not going to say I have like a detailed standard business plan. But I'm going to tell you this, I've learned now is if you want to be that entrepreneur that we're talking about, that future millionaire that we're talking about, you need that business plan. Because like I said, you need investors, right? So who's going to invest in your business when everything is not structured? You're not telling them about your projections, your financial projections. You're not telling them about what you expect and what you're willing to do now. However, I'm going to state that you don't necessarily, if you are not able to get that detailed, structured business plan, I'm not going to tell you to not really start a business. I'm not going to advise you to do that. Because sometimes you just need to start small and get help, which is why, honestly, the incubation program at Limkokwing is amazing, because they give you an opportunity if you don't have much ideas, because people have what they can do and what they are like limited in. So if you don't have you don't have enough resources maybe to have that structured business plan, the incubation hub actually helps you with that. But you actually need it if you want to reach that point that you aim to reach. And then the license, like your legal structure, what kind of business you want to be running. Many people in Sierra Leone, many of us, we just start a business. We don't even know about the business structures. We don't even know about partnership. We don't know about LLCs. We don't know anything. We just start a business. And then when someone wants to sponsor your business or someone wants to come in as a partner, there is a bit of a, there's a mismatch. First of all, you don't even know how to work with other people, because the idea that you came into the business with is this is your business, one man gang, you understand? So when you reach a point where you need to work with other people, it becomes a problem. So understanding the legal structure and also the licensing, like the requirements, because when you now want to be an LLC, want to partnership or sole proprietorship, whatever, all of them have their own registration processes. According to where you live, the regulations in your country. You have to follow them because, like I said, our goal is not just to be business owners. It's not just to be self-employed. We are future millionaires, right? Inshallah. So you want it to be structured. You don't want to be 5 years down the line in your business. You've reached a certain position and then where is your registration? You don't have it. Where is your bank account? Your business bank account is your personal bank account, and then you take everything from it. You think investors are going to take you seriously? They're going to look at you and tell you you're not really ready for investment, right? Okay. And then this, for me personally, you would think it's the easiest part, right? Like starting operations. So most of us think of doing a business. I'm going to use myself as an example. I thought of this business. First year at Limkokwing, I needed lunch, quite honestly, and I saw a problem where most of the hijabis did not have I, as a hijabi, did not have some of the things that I needed in school, and most of the hijabis, I'm sure, needed them too. So I just started selling it, and I started operation right away, right? But then starting operation also comes with, yeah, you need to have like a unique selling point. For me, it's the fact that, oh, these things are not available, so I'm providing. That was like my value proposition. These things are not here. It was my biggest competition. I can get it to you in school. You don't have to go to town. Me to go turn the abacha woman for you. Literally, I will go to abacha and buy the things and carry them, come to class, and I will miss classes because money sweet, fula musu. That's what I was doing at the time. But then, setting up operations, you have to think about hiring, right? If you're not you don't want to just limit yourself to one man gang business, hiring people, which unfortunately in Sierra Leone is one of our biggest problems. People don't talk about it much. So, you know this idea that people say, salon, work no day, whatever, you know what they say, right? Work no day. Ask anybody who has a business if work no day. They will tell you work day, but work man no day. And I'm going to tell you this. I had to do a post on my Instagram, my Facebook. I'm looking for a tailor for me to get people to help me make my clothes. I literally established my business. I have the equipment. I don't have workers. So what was happening is our online personality is all structured, right? I post good content online. People are like, hey, you don't make money, or they make money. I know I'm not producing. I'm literally broke because when I have let's say I have 10 orders, I'm doing 2 per week because I don't have enough workers. So you find that I should be making money. I have the potential of making money. People assume that I'm making money, but I know within the business we're drowning. And in other business, in my case, alhamdulillah, it's the fact that I know how to do the work myself. So if someone else is not there to do it, I'll do it. But then I realize that there is a potential here for like a growth. There's potential for growth beyond what I can imagine at this time, but I'm unable to achieve it because I don't have employees. Or when I do have employees, they're not effective, they're not efficient. So who is being the social media influencer when you have to get for people close? Sit down the video, it won't work. Next. And then, this I already mentioned quite honestly, prepare for challenges. Yes. So after you thought of your amazing idea, you got your business plan ready, you got your structured, you registered your business, you hired people and established. Challenges are going to hit you from left to right. That's for any business, right? Even the textbook version will tell you any business expect challenges. In Sierra Leone, one of the challenges I told you about is employment, right? Employees working with people. But then, what about resources? So Sierra Leone is not the place where, honestly, people buy other people's idea. It's great that now we have universities like this that give opportunities to other people, but in most cases, many people that have these amazing ideas, you take it to the banks, they're not going to look at you. Those loan companies, they will give you money, but honestly, the interest, after you don't pay the interest, you've used up all of your money. Sometimes many people that take loans from these businesses, you find that they haven't really gone anywhere. You find that these companies are actually running after them every day to repay them because the interest rate is so high, you're not making as much money. You just needed the capital, that's why you took it. And you're actually using from your business to sponsor maybe personal problems. And it's not structured. So you find that you're losing money and then you can't repay the debts. So the business dies. So one of the biggest challenges that you should be ready for is financial challenges. Even when you do get the capital, so let's say somebody is a part of the innovation hub at Limkokwing, your business has been structured in a way where you are investment ready and someone decides to sponsor you. There is also, you have to put into consideration that, businesses die. Sometimes you run at a loss. Maybe you produce some things and you didn't sell them. Or people that work in that run a business that has to do with Forex right now, you are at a higher risk because you might buy something for $100 today, with 2 million yuans, tomorrow it costs 2.5. So there is that constant, like you are constantly at an edge where you don't know if you'll be losing money or losing your business. So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you should prepare for that, maybe keep thick B&O, or change strategies, reduce cost of production, because inevitably there is going to be financial challenges. And then there is like technology. So I'm going to use myself too. Not just technology, let's say accessibility. So I work in clothing, right? And we do have now some machines that are electric. But guess what? Light's not there. So even though when tech has improved, you don't have to pedal, there's no electricity. When it rains, there's no electricity. You don't have anything to do with that. You don't have anything to do about that. So the only remedy would be many people have told me that, like, get a solar, get a solar. I'm like, with what money? You mean the way the cost of living is increasing in the country, and the way our things are expensive, and the way our people do not have enough money to buy some of the things you're selling, you want me to add on my cost of production, to add solar on it? If I get the investment, it would make sense. But also with investments, you should think about returns. So somebody's not just going to come give you money for free. Nobody likes it like that. So when they sponsor you, if someone wants to sponsor my business now and give me like a bigger working space with like a solar and better machines, my job now is to be able to market and produce as much money to be able to give them their return on their investments. But in a place like this, where I tell you the obstacles are coming from left and right and center, sometimes it's really hard. So as a business, if you're starting a business in Sierra Leone, you want to become an entrepreneur in Sierra Leone, have that in mind that, sometimes some things are beyond your control. They're going to come in. You should find a way to mitigate it. And then the problem also from the competition, the challenges. Sometimes your competitors can really drag you, especially if you're competing with bigger brands. So we are talking about startups right now. We are very small. You are thinking of starting a business that's into, let's say, internet, bringing internet. You're competing with Airtel, Africell. These are mega companies. They have the money to fight you. They have the money to literally kick you out of the industry, as we've seen with other telecoms that come. So you have to, so your challenges are coming from within, they are coming from your environment, and they are coming from the market too. Be ready for that. Are you really ready to fight with these people? Are you offering your value proposition? Is this something that your potential market, your target market, will be able to leave those people for? Are you ready for that? You should have that in mind. And then finally, I want to talk about growth. So after all of this, I've told you your challenges, establishing everything. If I was to advise anyone to start a business, I would tell you to not be afraid. Because with all of this that I've said, I don't think there's like a golden rule, even though there's this textbook version that I told you all of this. But for everyone, it's different. There are some things that, in circumstance you need it. But sometimes there are some people, they are mega millionaires, maybe in Leones or other currencies in Sierra Leone, that do not really have business plans. They don't. But they made their money, and they have maybe they're not even educated, they have other people running their businesses for them. So I'm going to tell you to not be afraid to start your business. Don't be afraid of growth. Be ready to learn on the job. You will not know everything as a business student at this stage. It's very likely that you know only what your teachers told you. But you're going to learn as you go. And some of these things that you learn, that's what you will pass on to somebody else. Even if somebody else that's in the same industry was to tell you, you wouldn't really understand until you are in that boat with them to understand how it works. So even if you go research now how to run a mining company, mining business in Sierra Leone, even if you were to type now how to have an effective mining business in one of the poorest countries in Africa, blah, 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 whatever they tell you, when you start doing that business, that's when you actually know how to do it. That's when you actually conclude on what are the challenges and what are your opportunities that you have. But also set milestones, because you can't just be going without, you don't know how you go, right? Set a milestone, what you want in the first quarter of your business, what you want in the first 6 months. Like I said, We are working to be future millionaires. We don't just want to start businesses because we want to survive today. We just want to start businesses because we want to feed our family. We're thinking of building something, building an empire, building something that the economy would benefit from. So then you have to structure it. Even though you're starting small, even though you are asking other people for help, which I always say to people, you don't really necessarily have to ask everyone for financial help. And that's like one of our problems in Sierra Leone. When people ask you for help, they're always they beg you money. And you get enough of giving money. I'm going to tell you this for a fact. Right now, even if I see you, you are blind, sometimes I don't even feel like giving money because I feel like it's like a plague now. Every single street you go to in Freetown, someone is begging you. And some of them are perfectly healthy. They are very healthy men. They are in their 20s or they are like teenagers. I'm like, you're a teenager. Why are you begging? You can literally just get something to do. Can you ask me to do something for you? Can you ask me for you to do something for me? I would actually pay you more because I feel like you want to work. But literally, people come in front of you and say, the mommy, I'm just telling them, I'm a child. Don't call me mommy. You see why small? I know big that big they it. But people tend to ask for money even when they want to establish their business. One thing I've learned from experience is I ask people for ideas, right? And I've asked people very close to me for loans, not for them to give me my money, give them my business idea and ask them for a loan. Actually, one of the person that loaned me my first like 500 leons back in semester 2 is actually a student here. So he's working, so I just told him, I need some money because I need to buy some stuff. Loan me, he ended up giving me the money, but the idea was I gave him something. I didn't just come give me money, you understand? I gave him something, so he's willing to invest in me, in my ideas, right? And constantly reinvent yourself. The world is moving, technology is growing, you cannot be stuck in one place. So that's why I say people are really like sleeping on social media influencing. You still see all these companies, even the official yet, a lot of these big ones. I don't see them really making use of social media. They have all of these people that are, but I'm not gonna blame them because if you're the one that's the influencer, I feel like you should reach out to the brands before they start reaching out to you because they have their money. But I see people are like sleeping on most of the effects of like an opportunity for you to expand because you're still stuck where you are. You're still stuck on the old way of doing things. So as an entrepreneur, you should be ready to reinvent yourself. It doesn't have to be reinvent yourself every 1 year. You can do something this month, it's out of style next month. You should be ready to be able to adapt to what the market wants.
She is the founder and CEO of Choco Collection in Sierra Leone. And we see how she driving personally into her business till she driving what it takes exactly to start a business in the context of Sierra Leone. She took us through 8 to 9 components into Sierra Leone and context of how you have to, what you have to think about, what you have to do in order for you to start a business. She started by telling us about idea generation and market research. She continued by talking about the capability assessment, your resources, your business plan, your legal structure and licensing, your startup operation, marketing, challenges, and growth. We can see that these are valuable components when you want to start up a business in Sierra Leone. But before going to that one now, you already know what it takes to start a business. But one may want to think that I know how to do this thing, but am I ready to do it? So ladies and gentlemen, this is not a formal or a lecture room, it's an organic form of discussion. We are here to share ideas. So we already take our first break. If you have any contribution or question to what she has just said, let's open the floor for you guys. So anyone, addition to what she has just said, any question? All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. She talks about what it takes to start a business in the context of Sierra Leone. But our next panel here, who is Akintola Samjoli, he is going to take us to the next level, which is, am I ready to start a business in Sierra Leone? After you have already know, after you have already have the knowledge, you have already leveraged yourself to study and know what it takes to start a business in Sierra Leone. Now, prepare your mindset to know if you are already ready to start the business. So let's continue with Akintola Samjoli from that aspect.
My name is Akintola Samjoli, and I always do this when I introduce myself. I am proudly the son of Bishop Akintola Samjoli. See, if anybody was the son or daughter of President Obama, they will state it. So I proudly state that one. And I've been in the commercial world for up to 10, 11 years. I started studying about business when I was 7 years. And then I went into business at the age of 11. And I'd started 2 businesses before, which were very successful, but you see, sometimes success brings strains and issues. So they were really successful that I started entering into my education. And in a country, you see that we value education more. So I had to drop it off and some other things. I had hosted an entrepreneurship seminar before, which I called the Ideal Entrepreneurship Mindset, which it was really a small number. It was around 5 to 6 people. And more came, but then the constant ones were 5 to 6 people. And out of at least 10 people, I have up to 6, 7 of them, which are either in business or in high places in their workplace and in different things. So I consider that a success. And lastly, I guess, I would say I know how to exploit the marketing world in my own way. I won't say things formally or I won't say things in a professional way, but I produce results. And I care more about results than sounding formal or sounding professional or looking at different things. So I usually sit, people come with their business, come with what they want, and we break it down and we see that, oh, okay, so they could do more. One of the things I'll make an example of is I used to have what I called the Airway Express. And the other one was called Airwear Express, which is earrings. So that was what I used to do before, where I'll make earrings, Ankara earrings, and then I sell them. So if we look around Sierra Leone, people usually told me, they will tell me that, oh, that is a saturated market. You can't get any profit in it, etc. But then because of how I saw the market and because of how I think, I could see loopholes that I could enter into. And through those loopholes, they were the ones that I used to get profits coming in like this. We have what we call passive income. Right? And even when you sleep, money is coming in. So through the sales of those earrings, I had passive income, which will look impossible, but then that is how successful the business was. So for today, I'll teach on, am I ready for business? And I'll do it in a discussion way. And if you have any questions, it will be good I ask. But I'm sure that you learn something beneficial today. Yes, it could be that, oh, we are in a campus setting, etc. But a few years back, when I did the entrepreneurship mindset seminar, people didn't usually take it as if, they didn't take it as if it was important. They were like, no, this is just one small boy wanting to talk plenty. But out of that, I now have connection in many places, even internationally. And also the people that I brought together, you know, like when you teach people and they become successful, they instantly become another connection added. So that also was a benefit. So let's go into what we have for today. So I'll start with the definition of business. Simple, basic. I like basic things. I don't like big things. It means a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. So this is something that happens regularly. Like you see most people, they get up one day and like, oh, I want to start a business. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, etc. But then they don't really think about how far to go. When I plan a business, I think about the next 10 to 20 years. So if I do not find myself doing that business for the next 10 or 20 years, I do not invest in it, I do not do anything about it. I allow the idea to go away. It is not every idea that we should invest in. Your brain is like, yes, it's like, it brings up ideas around the clock if you are somebody who does productive things. So it's not that, oh, every time your brain will bring up perfect ideas, All the brain is concerned about is giving you ideas, and then you choose, okay, which one do I want to spend time on or not. So it's something that has to be regular. One of the examples that I give most of the time is when we look at the Fullers. You wake up on a Sunday morning, you know that the Fuller shop is opened. You are ready to go to bed on a Saturday, you know that it's opened. You are sick, it is still opened. Rain is coming, it is still opened. Even the last time when we had flooding, it was opened. So you see that when you do a business like that, you become successful. Yes, you see some Fuller shop, the last time I went home around 10 p.m. I usually go home around 10 p.m. The Fuller shop that was just by our house, it was opened. It wasn't closed. Every other shop was closed, but they were opened. And through that, they were able to have more profit and more income. Why is in the other business, oh, it's 9 o'clock, I have to go home, blah, 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 they are gone. Or you see that, oh, I have to wake up, I'll go and start the business at 9 a.m. The Fuller shop would have been opened at 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m. So by the time you are coming at 9 a.m. to start opening your shop, etc., they are way ahead. So if you want to start a business, you have to now start thinking, how regular would my business be? Am I ready for the hectic work? Am I ready to wake up? I mean, if you are opening your shop around 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., it means that you would have woken up around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So are you ready to wake up at that time? And when we continue, have business refers to an enterprising entity or organization that carries out professional activities. They can be commercial, industrial, others for profit. Business entities do business to earn profit, while non-profit ones do it for a charitable mission. So this is just the definition of business. And through the definition of business, you can get a lot. So now you have to focus, what am I doing the business for? It's like when you come to campus. When you look around, some people come to campus for dressing. It may look funny, but they come to campus just to show that, oh, I know how to dress. Some people come to campus just to show that, oh, I have money. Not really to study or to get a degree. So you need to know what you are doing your business for. So now, let's enter into the final stages. Like I said, I keep things simple. So let's just know a few key things that we should note down before we start a business. The first thing is, what need are you taking care of? What need are you providing? What problem are you providing solution to? I gave some jottings down, which are there many solutions to it? These are a few things you ask yourself. I want to do this business. Is it a business that I just thought of, or is it going to meet a need? Or is it providing solution to a problem in my community, or in my region, or in the country? It may mean many things, but is it providing solution? And then you go a step further, how many solutions are there existing? For example, you go with the earrings. To be honest, there are many businesses that sell Ankara earrings. I just went into it because I know how to find loopholes. But it's not everybody that I advise to go into it. Like right now, if I want to enter into it, I would enter into it because the loopholes have not been met yet. Till today, it's rather sad because you want the country's business and economy to be growing, but the loopholes that are found years ago, it's still there. So you see that, are there many solutions to it? If there are many solutions to it, can you find loopholes in it? You also have, are there many solution providers to it? Is the market saturated? How many people are doing it? How many people are selling it? Many more. Is the need pressing? All of us have needs, but we have needs that are pressing and needs that are not really pressing. Do we get? Yeah, so you have to note those things down. This might be a problem or process that your product can speed up, or a loss that your product can prevent, or a service that your community needs. We go to the second one, what I bring into the table. So now you have got the need that you want to go meet, but then what are you bringing to the table? What can you do that your competitors cannot do? When I did the earring business, most people just get the earrings and then sit at a table, supermarket or something. But when I did the earring business, I branded it, number one. Number two, I found those cards, not any cardboard, just but then I used the money, got the card. By the way, the way I do my budgeting, it is very strict. It goes down to the last unit. So when I have profit, my profit starts from the last unit. That's why by the time I sell wholesale, Charlie, I have a lot of profit. But then I bring it down to the last unit. So when I say I bought those cards, don't just go and start buying cards or things like that. It might waste your money if you haven't properly scrutinized your budget. So I bought the cards, I placed the earrings on them, I printed the logo in the middle, I added a little golden lining on it, and then I covered it up with a packet. So depending on who I'm selling it to, I can now sell it in a more brandable package, or I can sell it in that packet. In the packet alone, it's okay for sales. So by the time people see that, they don't really focus on what the other person is doing, but they focus on what you are doing. Let's be honest. Most times when we go to buy things, our eyes are passing like this. Mostly when we don't have money. So by the time you have the logo there, you have a golden lining on it, by the time somebody's eyes are passing by, their eyes can get fixed on your product. And an example that we can look at is Coke and Pepsi. Coke has been there before we were born. Pepsi came and wanted to take on from Coke. But what happened? Till today, you see that they cannot reach the level that Coke got to. Coke got so popular that there was no continent in the world that didn't have Coke. So you see that Pepsi could not match up to them, even though they tried hard to do it. The next thing is what makes you you. What is it about you that is different from the others? What can I look at you and be like, okay, this person is on his own? For example, let's say that, let's still use the earring business. So because of the golden lining, others don't have that. So by the time you compare both of us, it's different. Example, Apple. You look at the Apple company, they are known for their security. You look at the Samsung company, they are known for the way they are friendly with other products. So many more. And the next thing is your identity, which is still under the second point. But I guess that all comes under what I just explained. The third thing is your business structure. So proprietor or partnership. When I start off a business, I do not usually include people like that. Rushing to employ people will waste your money. Yes, it will waste your money. There is something called idle time in company and in business. What is the idle time of your company can show how much more profit you could have made or how much loss you are making. Idle time, for example, is when you go to offices and you see people seated with their computer open and they are chatting, somebody is eating, etc. And then you come and they're like, oh, come sit down. And then you sit down and then you're waiting for how many minutes and they are doing this. That is idle time. So in all that time spent, productivity could have been made that was not made. Do we get? Yes. So let's continue. Are you able to employ and run at a profit? I only started employing people when the business was at a point, profit was coming in more than I could really think of, and different events we are calling, oh, can you come to this one? Can you come to this one? You see, when your business becomes successful, you don't need to call people. People call you. When you brand your business, people don't need to strain to look for you. You are there. So different people we are calling and I obviously had to employ people. And through that, the idle time was little. So you would say that, oh, you have 5 events. Why can't you employ 5 people? I didn't think of it that way. I would employ rather 2 people. So I will set the time, I will accept events that I want. Most Sierra Leoneans accept every job. If they can't do it, they'll accept the job. Oh, just pay me, just pay me. Most Sierra Leoneans, they will not have time to do the job, but they want you to give them the job. Just give me, oh, we are friends. I didn't used to work on that basis. I'll look at it, no matter if I'm running at a loss for that week. If I don't have enough time to do that event, I will not accept the event. So I accepted events that I wanted, and then those 2 people, I would set them up. This time you go for this one. When you are done with this, you come here. So by the time, you know what, I pay less and I make more. So let me rush through quickly because of time. Can you work with somebody and can you trust their decision making? You could work with somebody and your money is done before you know what. You could work with somebody and they run your business down. So to remove all of those stress, I usually work with my own money and I work with those who I want to work with. I never work with somebody that does not want to work with me. No matter how smart you are, no matter how intelligent you are, if you do not want to work with me, I don't work with you. The next one, do you trust them with your secrets? So if you notice, there are some secrets that I gave whilst I have been talking right now. So if I was working with you, you see that you know many more secrets that I used. And for somebody who finds loopholes in businesses, I have a lot of secrets. So if you are working with somebody, do you trust them with your secrets? Will they go behind your back and do something more? Anyway, I wanted to say something, but I don't think some people will be happy with what I'll say. So let me move ahead. And then the next one is, are you going to have a shop or a mobile business? I chose mobile business. I don't like shops. You only do shop when you are at a level in the business world wherein when people think about the first 3 people that they go to, you are in that first 3 categories. If not, then I don't think it's necessary for you to have a shop. Even if you are selling clothes, it's best that you do it mobile. Most of the time, it's like those people selling credit. They'll tell you that when they sit and wait for people to buy credit, they make less money than when they walk around town. So now people look at them walking around town and be like, oh, look at this person walking around town, and it doesn't look pleasant. But then more profit is there. So you have to choose if you want all the pleasantries or if you want profit. And because I want profit, I chose the mobile business when I was selling earrings. Because then the next point you see when I talk about target market. My own target market were the people in the higher end. Those who work in higher parts in jobs, women in high places, like those were my target market. If other people come, then it was bonus. But my target market was up there. So you have to know what your target market is. Wherein how many people want this product, the total serviceable market, wherein, okay, how many, you can't say that right now I can sell earrings to people in America. So they can't enter into that full. And then you have the total obtained market, wherein those are the people who have contacted you, got your product, and they have bought it. So you really need to know these things. If not, in my own case, I'll be selling earrings to anybody. I'll come and I'll be begging students. But when I was selling the earrings, I didn't go to students. I didn't ask no student, I didn't ask no family member, no friends, because I knew my target market. And when I went for them, you see that some of them would buy 3 earrings. It got to the place where some of them told me that they wanted the earrings and necklace. But it came at a point where I gave up business at that time. The first thing is your market. I think I would do this one and 1 or 2 more, and then we'll close. So are you going for a niche, or are you going on a wider scale? Are you going to focus on a little part in the business, or are you going for a wider scale? Are you going for your community, or are you going for your country? Are you going for your city, or are you going for your neighborhood? You could sell in your neighborhood and make more profit than businesses that you see on television, those things. I was making more profit than businesses that had shops. I was making more profit than people who were selling at the door of supermarkets. And you think that, oh, big people come and they pass by the door, so they will be selling more earrings, etc. But I was making more profit than them. So you have to know who you are selling to. It will help you. The next thing is your target customer. I think I'd already explained about that. You could, you see, I think about things right down to the littlest detail. I think maybe that's why I and Mr. Bashir are friends. But then I think about them right down to the littlest details. So when I look at target customers, I even look at the age. When I sell to older people, you see that I make the color more vibrant. It may look as if it's the wrong thing, but as people get old, they don't see brighter colors. They start seeing dull colors and those things. For example, if I see blue and the blue is bright to me, when an older person look at that same blue, they'll see it in a duller way. It even gets closer to a black and white sort of way. So knowing the age will help you, the location too. There are some things that you sell at Bookfields, you will not sell at IMAT. Bookfields have a wider community with people with lower standards, not in a disrespectful way, but then it is like that. By the time you get to IMAT, it's a gated community with people who want peace and quietness. You get to IMAT, in Bookfields, I can buy bread and something by 9, 10 p.m. Don't make that mistake in IMAT. You sleep hungry. So you have to know the location, the hobbies of the people. It helps you to know. Some people love fashion. So me selling earrings, I know that I have to target people who love art, who love fashion, who love dressing, etc. And many more. Some people like to walk, some people don't like to walk. So all of those things can key in how you sell your business. If you pay attention to these little details, you see that you make more profit and you find more loopholes than others who just do business for business sake. You also have the income level. Like I said, I targeted people who were making money. The values. People have different value system. The political and religious conviction. You also have other interests. You have the geographical range and many more. So please, you can go and look into that. Lastly, for now, because of the time, I want to finish in the next 3 minutes. We have the expenses or startup costs. Most people, before they even incur expenses, they want to come and include this friend to come help me, come and include that friend to come help me. By the time you start in your business, you're already running at a loss. Some people want capital. Oh, I can't start my business because of the capital, blah, blah, blah. Save money, start off something small. For example, if I wanted to sell slippers, I'll start off selling with earrings. I'll save money, and even if I have enough money to make 2 earrings, I'll make 2 earrings and I'll sell them. I get profit, and then I make few more earrings, and gradually you see that you have capital to make the greater business that I wanted without loans. I'm somebody, I hate loans, honestly. So even when I meet with bankers, they don't usually like discussing these things with me because I would not advise you to take loans. Except if you have this greater business on a wider scale, okay. But I would not advise you to take loans. The next thing is your funding. Where is your funding coming from? And then lastly for today, you have your projected income or projected profit. Currently, I'm trying to invest in somebody's business, which is she sells food. But then I met with her and she came and met me with a budget. And she was like, Akara, 15 loans, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, that is not how I do things. And I told her, see, you have to tell me all that you have to use to make 1 Akara. And when you have done with listing down what you have to use to make the Akara, you tell me the cost of all those items for 1 unit. When you are done with that, you list the same items again and tell me how many of those items you need to make 1 Akara. When you are done, tell me the cost of all those items. After that, the last thing I'll need from you is that if you need to make 20 Akara, then tell me how many of those items you need to make those 20 Akara and the cost of it. So with that, I look at those 3 categories and I'm able to see where can I cut down, where can I increase, what can I do, how much can I find a loophole which can give me more profit and many things, and it helps me to plan. So with that, it brings your expenses to your face. You are able to see how much you can have for projected income and all that. So lastly, before I close, when I did the earrings, at the sale of one earring, it paid for the production of 5 to 10 more earrings. And yet still, it was lower than the market price. That was how much I was making. So I would sell the earrings. People meet me and be like, oh, do you know that somebody over there is selling one earring for 90,000, for 100,000, and you are here selling it for 40,000, for 50,000? I was like, yeah, I know. And they will look at me like, this boy is dumb. He does not know what he's doing. But with that 40, 50,000, I was actually producing 10 more earrings at the sale of one earring. So now, just by selling 5 more earrings, I now have the money to produce 50 more earrings. And as you continue, that is how much more, if you think about it, you know the profit I was making. So I'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening.
So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once more for your attention and your contribution this afternoon. From our experts here, Ms. Memuna Tuba and Mr. Akintola Samjoli, we have learned so much about what it takes to start a business, and after knowing what it takes to start a business, am I ready to start a business? So ladies and gentlemen, I learned from my experts here, my panelists this afternoon, that they care about results rather than saying it. And also, they do market research rather than assumption at the end of the day. But ladies and gentlemen, let's think about this one. Have we ever thought about differentiating what is it like to differentiate between business and that of entrepreneurship? Because there are so many businesses outside there which are doing buying and selling, and this one is only the aspect of business. When it comes to entrepreneurship, we take into consideration 2 things, which is the creativity and the innovation. There can be a business there, but with your creative mindset, you can bring up a different way of solving that problem, which can create or yield a profit at the end of the day. I would like to leave you with this saying that it is in your hand to make the world a better place for those who live in it. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take this adventure of being entrepreneurs who can create the change that the world is seeking for. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once more. I'm Abdullah Conte, the moderator for the business today. So, go.